Hi, thanks for joining us. This is a re-recording of the 5 Tips for Success webinar, Breaking the Chains, 2004 Success Tips, that was given live January 22nd, 2014. We had some technical difficulties with our recording, and so we are recording this separately in the studio. Thanks for joining us. Before we get started, we do have a legal disclosure that we need to discuss. This webinar is designed to provide accurate and authoritative information with regard to the subject matter covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither Empower Learning Group, LLC, or any guest speakers is engaged in rendering legal, professional, licensed trading advice. Because the details of your situation are fact-dependent, you should additionally seek the services of a competent licensed professional. The opinions expressed by any guests are not necessarily those of Empower Learning Group. Alright, now that the lawyers are happy, we can get started. I'm Joshua Christensen, CEO of Empower Learning Group, and on the original webinar, David Libby joined us. He's our Chief Educational Officer, and Jim Campbell, also a 34-year health and wellness guru of wellness experts, also joined us. In the interim, I will fill in where they normally would have added in. Little housekeeping before we get going. Normally there would be a place during a live webinar where you'd be able to raise your hand, ask questions, things like that. Since this is a re-recording, you won't have that option. If you do have any questions, we would like you to send us an email at joshua@proverbs66.com, and we'd be happy to field those questions anytime they arise. You can also visit our website at www.proverbs66.com. So we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the presentation, and we'll get going. Alright, so tonight we're discussing the 5 tips to succeed this year. Our tips come in the form of understanding a few things that many of our clients get tripped up by, and maybe tripping you up as well. Our clients have found these tips to be helpful, and we're confident you will as well. Number 1, why do the rich keep getting richer while the poor are getting poorer? Number 2, why your job is not the answer to getting you where you want to be. Number 3, the truth about a lie. Number 4, Jim Campbell shared the effects of financial stress on the body. Stress is less. And number 5, we'll share some surprise tools to help you reach your goals all year long. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into our tips. Why do the rich keep getting richer while the poor are getting poorer? Our first tip of the night is this. If you keep doing what the rich tell you to do, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. So, stop doing what the rich tell you to do and start doing what the rich are doing. We'll take a look at a few billionaires on the top 400 billionaires 2013 from the Forbes list. This list is actually pretty interesting because out of 400 top billionaires, 273 actually qualify as self-made billionaires. Yes, that is a billion with a capital B. Oprah, aka the O, she was born into poverty to a teenage mother who worked as a domestic servant. She often wore dresses made from potato sacks. Howard Schultz is the founder and CEO of Starbucks. He grew up in the Canarsie Bayview housing projects of Brooklyn. Big time billionaire nowadays. Shahid Khan, you may not know, he's the owner of Jacksonville Jaguars. He also owns some software companies, software development companies. And he came to America at the age of 16 and spent his first night in a $3 a night YMCA room. And getting started, he worked as a dishwasher making $1.20 per hour. So what's interesting about each one of these billionaires is that they are still alive today. They're not distant stories of success, but rather these guys actually learned some things about money in recent years that made all the difference in building their estates in a big way. They weren't born with silver spoons in their mouth. So we're not talking about getting rich for greed's sake or anything like that. This is where we've got to dispel the truth about God's view of money and his people. Take a look at Deuteronomy 8 verse 18. These are some of his instructions before Israel entered the promised land. In Deuteronomy 8:18 it says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to create wealth." He gave us the ability. Let's not forget that. Having wealth is not a bad thing by God's own words. We simply need to honor him and remember that he gave us that ability. This is no bootstrapping going on up in here. Second, the book of Nehemiah is the last historical book of the Old Testament with 400 years of silence between its ending and Jesus' coming on the scene in Matthew. In chapter 5, there's a severe famine that overcame the land, and a big problem has come up for the people in Jerusalem during the rebuilding that reveals a lot about us today. We are mortgaging our fields, our vineyards, and our homes to get grain during the famine. Still others are saying, we've had to borrow money to pay the king's tax on our fields and vineyards. Although we are the same flesh and blood as our countrymen, and though our sons are as good as theirs, yet we have to subject our sons and daughters to slavery. Some of our daughters have already been enslaved, but we are powerless because our fields and vineyards belong to others. This is a powerful illustration of financial destitution and a poverty mindset. We hear it every day in our culture and conversations all around us every day. So year after year, people set goals, we call them New Year's resolutions, to fix their financial and health problems, and yet year after year, they don't meet their goals. Well, that's why we created Empower Learning Group, to help people not only survive, but to thrive in any economic conditions. So, some of the New Year's resolutions that we see, the top 5 New Year's resolutions we see, are exercise, getting out of debt, eating healthy, getting a better job, aka income, and losing weight. So it's interesting to me that the top 5 include health and wealth. So why are the rich getting richer while the poor are getting poorer? The biggest key factors in their mindset. The rich don't see themselves as powerless or hopeless like we saw in Nehemiah. In the example, they were mortgaging their fields, they were mortgaging their houses, all these things, paying the taxes. They felt powerless. The rich also don't make excuses like, we can't because ... You can fill in the blank. We don't have the money, we don't have the time, we don't have the resources, I just don't have a good idea. Now, see, the rich see themselves differently. They actually have an empowering inner dialogue that exudes confidence to get whatever they want. They're filled with passion, and they have an incredibly clear vision. Now, you might see, yeah, but they have money. It's a great point. Tell that to Oprah or Howard Schultz or Khalid. They didn't start with any money. They started with a dream and a passion to go get their dream with confidence. And I imagine if you ask, they'll share their struggle with you. And I'm sure they have stories laced with failure all the way to the top. They just don't use those stories as excuses for failure, but rather they use them as fuel for success. But see, in their minds, they were very determined to get to a point where they would never struggle again. And now, they all give millions away every year to help the less fortunate in places where they came from. So, see, the rich keep getting richer because they learned how money works. As a Christian, we know that the combination of our knowledge, hard work, and the Lord's hand is what gives us our prosperity. It starts with obtaining knowledge of money. The Lord's already provided us with the ability to create wealth. But the poor remain poor because they don't take the time to learn how money works. They're idle and lazy in their approach to gaining new knowledge about money. They think that getting a new job with higher pay is the answer. But our system of learning about money actually requires learning new mindsets and understanding things that are extremely easy. The reason so many people don't succeed is because they want to hold on to the comfort of the excuse and justification. They want the romance with their story. That poverty story feels so good. And, honestly, it's hard to let go of. Just wanting a better life isn't enough. So that's why Empower Learning Group created some outstanding tools to help overcome the stinking thinking and help people achieve their goals. Let's look at tip number 2. Why your job is not the answer to getting where you want to be. For most people, the job is their only source of income. So here's the tip. To build real wealth, you must learn how to create multiple forms of income. I'm not telling you anything you haven't heard before. My question is simple. If you've heard it before and you're still stuck, why are you still stuck? Maybe you're too attached to the false security of the job. That's very common, and it's not right or wrong. It just is what it is. I'm not here to judge you, only to help you get where you want to be. The secret key to get out of the job you don't like and the debt spiral that you've created is found in creating new streams of income in this new economy. So let's take a look at your job. JOB stands for just over broke because employers pay just enough to satisfy what people will accept. And employees earn just enough to pay for things like housing. The payments go to the bank or the landlord. They pay for their cars. Payments go to the bank, or maybe to fix their jalopy. They pay for education in the form of student loans in most cases. Entertainment, credit cards, cell phone plans, cable plans, etc., etc. Employees live their lives just over broke from paycheck to paycheck. And unfortunately, we can look at our system and say that the average American is systematically trained to get a good education and get a good JOB. That JOB will somehow help us achieve the American dream of prosperity according to the experts. And that is why the national debt continues to rise and student loan debt continues to rise. The system doesn't train people to build wealth. Our system trains really smart people on how to get a great JOB to work for the folks who get it. Now, see, our system is creating a nation of consumers and indentured servants. We work in order to give our paycheck to the creditors. Proverbs 22:27 says, "If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you." Debt is crippling our households and our nation. It's time to take a stand against the system and start making real money. Our jobs are building other people's dreams. Our JOBs barely serve our own interest. But the best forms of income streams provide a great service or a value to the community in which it serves. It's that extra income that will allow you to sleep at night without worrying about someone coming to take the car or if the house payment can even be made. Over the last decade, income levels haven't risen to keep up with inflation. New JOBs are not the solution to this epidemic. Regardless of what the politicians tell you, the gap will continue to widen if you don't make a decision to do something different than a JOB. I'm not saying that the job is bad. It's a source of income. But if you stay there, you'll stay stuck, and you'll stay exactly where you are. You'll set another New Year's resolution, and next year it won't change. So think about this. Who is it that determines an employee's hours for work and personal time? It's your boss, right? All right, well, who decides how much you're going to make on your job? Again, it's your boss. And who controls when you're going to get paid? Once again, it's the boss. Okay, so what is the solution to not doing what the rich tell us and building multiple income sources? The solution to tips number 1 and tips number 2 are found in tip number 3, the truth about a lie. Let's face it, money is a complex matter. And here's the tip. When you master the truth about a lie, in order to master money and make understanding money easy. Yes, money really is easy once you master the truth about a lie. So let's start in the story of Joseph to grab hold of this idea. In Genesis 41, verse 46 through 49, Joseph learns about a dream and about the coming famine that Pharaoh dreamed about. Being a man of vision, he comes up with a plan to save everybody. The plan started out with storing up all the grain in the land beyond measure during the 7 years of abundance. So, whose grain was it that he was storing? That's right. It all belonged to the people who trusted Joseph's judgment. So let's jump forward now to Genesis 47, 13 through 27. It says, "Now the famine was upon the land, and all the people were in great need. Joseph set phase 2 of the plan into effect. He understood the value of the stored grain, and he sold it back to the people he bought it from. When the people didn't have any more money, they came to him and they traded their livestock for grain. When they didn't have any more livestock, they traded their land, and then they traded themselves into slavery. Joseph accepted the terms, and he gave them back their land with a 1/5 tax levy, which created perpetual wealth for the kingdom. That tax is still in effect today. The people didn't realize what they were giving up when they gave over all their assets. The only things they had to create any income, they traded for food. First they traded their money, then their livestock, then their land. Finally they took JOBs with the government, aka they sold themselves into slavery. Now here is what Joseph understood, and the people did not. Joseph understood a lie. This is the basic foundation of financial wealth or poverty. Donald Trump has a financial statement that is a lie, and so does a guy in the unemployment line. A lie is simply the 4 basic building blocks for financial success. Every financial statement tells the story of assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. Now, Wall Street moguls tell us to buy their investment vehicles that will build our wealth, and the average American isn't getting any wealthier. On the other hand, the bankers and brokers are taking huge profits. Why? Why are they taking all these profits? Do you remember tip number 1? You can't keep doing what the wealthy tell us. Rather, this is where we have to learn what the wealthy are doing and copy them. We have to understand the relationship of these 4 basic building blocks to financial success. A-L-I-E. A lie. So let me illustrate. Here's a model of the average person. Average person gets income from a job, uses that income to get approved for a liability or debt, to buy liabilities or stuff that creates expenses and payments, constantly drawing down the income from his job. Now, they create all the liabilities, creates expenses. A car loan are classic examples of what most Americans fall into. But let's look at the model of wealthy people. Revenue from assets or income producing assets are used to or they use revenue and whatnot and assets, cash, liabilities to buy income producing assets. It's the income producing asset that creates more income for them, propelling them toward achieving their goals. So 20 years ago, my dad's best friend had another friend who decided they wanted to buy a car wash. They didn't have the full amount, so they used their cash as down payment plus a bank loan to buy their new car wash. The car wash earned enough to pay off the loan inside the first year. Within 6 years, the two owned 11 car washes, debt-free, giving them each nearly $400,000 in income. They quit their jobs somewhere around years 3 and 4, and today my dad's friend only works 15 to 20 hours a week maintaining the car washes and consulting other car wash owners. The rest of the time he spends doing what he enjoys. You know, he's in his mid to late 50s. So you can see from this example that mastery of the 4 basic building blocks of ALIE, a lie, are critical to your financial freedom. The average person has not mastered the truth about a lie, nor have they learned how to create income. Rather, they go find a JOB from someone who sold them income in exchange for their time. Then that same person who is just over broke wants to buy something, but can only get it through acquiring debt. The JOB then becomes just enough to pay back the lender. This is a worst form of financial slavery. And Proverbs 22:7 says the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So here's the beauty of this. It doesn't have to be like that. You've been given the ability to create wealth. You do not have to choose a life of debt and servanthood to the rich. You can create businesses that create income for you while providing a great deal of value in your community. And when you do that, everyone is blessed. Unfortunately, not everyone will. The key to financial freedom and success is the mastery of the truth about a lie. In our training and teaching, we provide you with the secrets to building wealth, getting out of debt permanently, and even improving your health. It's our goal to help as many people reach financial freedom as we possibly can in our lifetimes. But we can only do so much. The real experts become our clients because they're the ones that are doing the work. They're taking themselves on. They're taking on and challenging the things they've always learned. We only give you the tools to help you succeed. So here's the tragedy of this entire story. When we don't master the truth about a lie, the alternative leads to financial struggle and financial stress, which can lead to bankruptcy, divorce, and the quiet killer. It's our health problems. Excuse me. So, on our original webinar, Jim Campbell from the Wellness Improvement Experts, he joined us, and he talked. With over 34 years, Jim had figured some things out. Jim did the JOB route for many years, and before capturing the idea of creating his own income-producing asset in the health and wellness industry. And on the original webinar, Jim shared some of those financial. He shared with us why financial stress actually leads to less. And so number 4, I'm going to cover a few of these things, but number 4 is to improve your wealth. You have to improve your health. But the reverse is also true. Improve your health and you'll improve your wealth. So it works both ways. And stress is a leading cause to all kinds of health problems. In fact, I found some staggering statistics on WebMD about stress on our body. It says 43% of adults suffer adverse health problems from stress. 75 to 90% of all doctor visits are for stress-related ailments. Stress can play a part in problems such as headaches, high blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, skin conditions, asthma, arthritis, depression, anxiety, and what wasn't listed is weight gain. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, declares stress a hazard of the workplace. Stress actually costs American industry more than $300 billion annually. The lifetime prevalence of an emotional disorder is more than 50%, often due to chronic, untreated stress reactions. Money-related issues are one of the biggest causes of stress that affect our health. Now, on the call and on the webinar, Jim shared with us how he started out as a young man, became an engineer, and he went on to do fairly well as an engineer, and he started realizing some things about stress, about the time that he was using, and stuff was happening to his own body. And that's when he came across an organization in the health and wellness industry that had a direct selling benefit, and they allowed people to become distributors selling their products. Well, in this journey, Jim saw the benefit of creating a business for himself, but he also saw the benefit of what this particular company offered in their health and wellness products and their medical supplements and various different things like that. And so he poured himself into both. And over a period of several years, Jim created enough income to be able to leave his full-time job and focus his energy on serving people and helping people improve their health and to reduce their financial stress by helping them create an extra form of income. And one of the cool things about the direct selling industry, you may know it as the network marketing industry and whatnot, but one of the coolest things about this model of business is that you can work this type of business on a part-time basis while you still have a job. You don't have to leave your job to do it. Typically, you've got outstanding different product offerings and things like that you can create some really good value for people. In the health and wellness industry, you know, our food and the nutritional balance in our diets is so thrown off that there's a huge need for supplements to help people get the nourishment that they need so that our bodies function properly. Stress reduces financial stress, and health-related stress reduces stress in relationships. It's an amazing snowball effect that happens when stress stays in our life. And so Jim shared a lot about that. If you're, we were talking about creating income producing assets in tip number 3, and one of the greatest income producing assets you can create for a very low out-of-pocket expense is setting up some kind of a direct selling organization. And there's lots of them. There's lots of network marketing out there. I'm not going to endorse any one in particular. That's something that you would want to do with your own due diligence. However, these are great vehicles or great tools. They'll give you training and sales. They'll give you some training in running your own business. And at the same time, you'll be able to create some residual income for your family, as well as helping some other families do the same for them. And hopefully you'll have a great product that will add great value to the community in which you live. Finally, what we want to look at is, one of the things you can do, if you want some information about Jim, go to his website and you can reach out to him. He can share with you a little bit about his organization, as well as the supplemental aspects and the health and wellness products that he has to offer at wellnessimprovementexperts.com. Finally, I want to get into our 5th and final tip on success, and we promised to give you some surprise tools for the entire year. And Dave and I and Power Learning Group, we are especially excited about this section because we know that repetition is the key to success in changing habits. And the great Carlos Santana, the guitarist, says, most people don't have the willingness to break bad habits. They have a lot of excuses, and they talk like victims. Now, I know that that's not true about the people that are watching this video. You guys are here because you want to break out of all that. But tip number 5 is break the chains of bad financial habits through ongoing education around money. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It reminds me of the saying that we did when we were a kid. or when we were kids, we used to repeat this all the time. Pete and repeat went down to the lake. Pete falls in, and who's left? The other guy says, repeat. Okay. Pete and repeat go down to the lake. Pete falls in, who's left? Yeah. It just keeps going. It's a really annoying little rhyme, but repetition is the idea. So the point is that through repetition, we can change our bad habits into healthy habits that can lead us towards success. And so in order to gain the best financial training, we put together the best set of tools available to provide repetition for you. Tonight, we're proud to actually officially launch the exclusive Empower Insider Online Club. Now, normally the club is $15 a month. However, we're giving the first 14 days away for only $1 to anybody wanting to sign up and kick the tires for a couple weeks before making the commitment. We understand you want to see it, you want to try it on, that's cool. So what's there to lose? If you're not happy, cancel the membership. There's no harm, no foul, but you're going to have full access to the entire site. And inside our insider, there's insider training. We've got audio, video, articles, Bible studies, insider tools and resources. We have an insider community that's going to be coming soon, which will be a forum that exclusive insiders can communicate with each other, share tips, collaborate on ideas. It's just a phenomenal website, and we're really excited to be able to bring this to you. Now, also on the website are some cool graphic visuals and some other learning tools to help you stimulate your learning experience. Sometimes pictures tell the story better than raw facts. And so for that same $1, all of our guests tonight are going to have full access to the Empower Insider site. So it's awesome. I mean, this is such a cool place to create that repetition that's going to help you break those financial habits and put you on a road to success. But that's not enough. For everybody who becomes an insider, we're also giving them a copy of the easy-to-use workbook, Faith and Money. Now, normally we sell this book for $15.95, but tonight we're actually giving it away for free to everybody who becomes an exclusive Empower Insider member, and we're giving it away for free. Now, if you sign up, you're going to get this for free. I know that during the live launch, we said that it was for tonight only. We're giving this away for free for you, for your friends, for your family, anybody that signs up and becomes an Empower Insider. We decided that we're going to go ahead and give you this free workbook, absolutely free with your paid subscription, with your paid membership, and we're just excited to offer that to you. I mean, Faith and Money Workbook, it helps you transform your relationship with God and money. You're going to learn what it means to avoid the dangers of money avoidance, how money and God coexist, why money's needed to build the kingdom of God, and how to live free from financial bondage. So get this thing for free. It's going to change your life. It's got some 5 short lessons in there that will help you grab hold of what it means to have money in the kingdom of God. Also, what we're doing is we're also giving you a copy of the article, Everything You Need to Know About Success You Already Possess. In the article, readers are going to share the experience of Russell Cromwell's famous speech, Acres of Diamonds. And in that speech, Cromwell eloquently tells a story after story of famous people who found success right in their backyards. Oh, and Cromwell actually told the story in and around the turn of the 20th century. These are timeless truths about success and prosperity. It's over 100 years ago he shared this thing. He gave that speech over 5,000 times. It was incredible. And if you've never heard it, this is such a great article to help you tap into what Cromwell was teaching there. It's a great tool that inspires readers to find their purpose and passion. You already have it. And you simply need to uncover what you have right in your own backyard. Finally, we're also going to make this webinar available for replay, which is why I'm recording it now, since we had technical difficulties when we did it live. We're going to make this available for replay for all of our insiders, as well as the audio MP3, and we're going to provide you with the printable notes for your study. So in order to take advantage of all these great tools, all you need to do is log into our website, www.proverbs66.com. Click the Insiders Only button. It's going to take you directly to the login page where you can sign up for $1 for the first 14 days. And after that, you can decide if we've provided you with enough value to stay on as an insider. And we are confident that you won't just continue your membership, but that you'll actually invite your friends and bring them along as well. You're going to receive all the stuff that we promised you. And throughout the year, we're adding more great resources to the site for Empower Insiders to utilize and grow. And this is just the beginning. In fact, I'd like to give a shout out to Shauna Rampley, who became our very first Empower Insider just before we aired this webinar live here a couple weeks ago. And so we're excited that Shauna joined us. She's the very first one that will ever be our first insider. So Shauna, thanks so much for joining us. We're grateful that you've taken advantage of being an insider. And so here's a real quick recap of the 5 tips for success. Stop doing what the rich tell you to do and start doing what they are doing. Number 2, to build real wealth, you must learn to create multiple forms of income. Number 3, master the truth about a lie in order to master money and make understanding money easy. Number 4, improve your wealth, improve your health. And improve your health and improve your wealth. And number 5, finally, is break the chains of bad financial habits through ongoing education around money. Now, we've covered a lot, and I want to say thank you for being with us, for joining us, for watching this webinar. And we're just grateful, and we want to be able to provide great value for you. So if there's any feedback that you have for us that would improve the material, if you've got any suggestions or you've got questions about things that you need some help with, feel free to reach out to us. Go to proverbs66.com and contact us. Send us an email and let us know what's going on in your life. What's your situation that we can help you overcome? That's our greatest passion. It's our greatest purpose. And we're so grateful that you have tuned in to watch this webinar. Thanks a lot. God bless you.